But if you think it's only Twitch being interesting, you haven't seen anything yet. Let us talk about YouTube too. There's this article here from Dexarto. Hashtag Tips has seen massive in sudden drop in viewership. He believes YouTube's algorithm is partially to blame. The algorithm is constantly recommending members-only content that most people can watch over his normal videos. That is true. I've noticed that. I follow Samiko Saba. She's pretty funny, she's really nice. I keep getting recommended her membership streams, not her normal ones. Even though she streamed twice this week, I keep getting, in my recommendations, a membership stream from 3 weeks ago. Just like this here, 3 weeks ago, which is kind of funny. But wait, there is more. I went through this tweet thread by Obakepam just before a stream. I've been complaining about this for weeks, and now I'm completely justified. I understand that maybe my complaints sometimes might be completely wrong, because I'm a really small guy, so my dataset is minuscule. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. And it's really disheartening, because I don't know how to fix this. You probably can't. So me and many other people have also noticed our numbers drastically drop on YouTube, and I've been keeping track to try to figure out why. So if you've also been struggling on YouTube lately, you aren't alone. If you have any leads on why, feel free to let me know. Here's what I have so far and what I think I've ruled out. I do believe, to some extent, this has to do with Brave browser. To some extent, not only Brave. I understand it's not only Brave, but I think Brave is also an issue. Because I've been having a lot of trouble using Brave to watch YouTube. Sometimes the videos just don't load. I also had troubles with Firefox recently. This happened, what, like 2 weeks ago? It was kind of insane. I think it was more than 2 weeks ago. I kept trying to play music on stream. It kept crashing like 10 to 15% in. I was just getting a strange error message, and even reloading was completely useless. So that's really strange. That shouldn't happen with Firefox. Let's see. I haven't had a video upload, so this is only related to stream VODs. Also happens with videos. Since my shorts seem to be performing as usual, my YouTube has been consistently, every stream, had drastically lower VOD views, despite the CCP/average watch time being the same as before. A few days later, it's slashing my reported CCP by around 40 to 60+% compared to numbers seen during and right after the stream. I've seen this happening. I've seen this happening a year ago. A year ago, it was rare for this to happen, but it happened. Right now, it's literally every single VOD. It's really bad. And the first part already doesn't make sense. If your overall views are going down, there's no way your CCP to average watch time ratio will exactly be the same. It means either less people watching at a time, which will lower CCP, or people watching for shorter amounts of time, which would mean a lower average watch time. Yes, that's how the three factors relate. That makes sense. Okay, so if that's not the culprit, then what the heck is happening? I had noticed lower CCP than usual, and I just assumed that was on my part. Until I talked to a number of creators, almost everyone has noticed drastically lower CCP compared to usual. Yes, this has been happening since the ID verification stuff, not only with the UK, but also with the USA. I think that's active now? I'm not quite sure. So yeah, I've seen CCP lower. However, even for streams that reach my usual CCP, the above, even same CCP/watch time, CCP to watch time ratio, I suppose, still holds true. So even if some are lower, the ones that meet or even pass usual CCP still have drastically lower views, which should be impossible. It's not impossible, it's YouTube's tricks, which is really strange. I tried encouraging likes in chat in case engagement made a difference, but it didn't seem to change anything even when I got many more likes on one stream versus another. People are receiving maybe age verification. People using alternative sources to watch. I have no idea. Chatting is useless for engagement. I don't know why, but apparently it's completely useless. I don't know what an engaged viewer is by YouTube's metrics. This has been happening to me for a while, and I could show you in my dashboard something so stupid you couldn't believe it if I only told you about it. Weeks ago, I had a stream. It was a normal stream. Nothing special about it. But like a week later, when I went to look at the analytics for the stream, I found that not only it slashed my CCV, it was telling me that I didn't have anybody watching. It was extremely funny when you just scroll down a little bit and during a portion when allegedly nobody was watching, literally 0 CCV, there were a bunch of chat messages. Like 20 or so. That's hilarious. Something like that should be impossible. So if somebody keeps talking into the chat and doesn't count as a view, what does count as a view? I have no idea. Keep going. I wonder if maybe it was relating to raids, so it tracked CCV on a stream that got big raids. To my surprise, the numbers were slashed more than ever, from 2/3, but the slashing seemed to have no relation whatsoever to the raids, because the graph still showed the raid shape, including the raiders as active viewers. You can see the exact same bumps when raiders come in. If raiders were erased, they shouldn't show up at all. First image is immediately after stream, second is a few days later. On a side note, this CCV to watch time prior would have been easily 1.5 to 2k. So here we have this here. This is right after stream. Average 189, peak 280. Pretty good. After, average 59, peak 96. 1/3 of the original numbers. 2/3, boom, completely destroyed, completely killed. There's the stream. Last I will say this out, but is it good? We can see here, more than 1,000 views. Peak concurrence 280, that's makes sense. Average view duration about 30 minutes, pretty good. A lot of watch time, which it tracks. It tracks. But there's more. The removing raiders has been rolled out. The ship isn't completely the same because the number dips drastically after the raids, but you can still see the bumps from the raids, so it is counting incoming raiders as legitimate viewers. The people stop being counted if they aren't active after a certain amount of time. If they don't chat, I have no idea. Center of the raids is expected, so that wouldn't surprise me, but the first graph shows a much straighter line. The parts removed are during steep periods in the second graph. Yeah, around the middle, as you can see. This is almost a straight line here, with small bumps. Here's closer to a valley. That's real strange. This actually happened across multiple streams, and if you stream on YouTube, I urge you to check analytics immediately after stream versus a few days later. You'll see what I mean. Here's another example. Stream right after versus a few days later. Peak 129, average 105. 7 hours and a half, not bad. Peak 69, average of 51. So, pretty much cut in half, again. And this gacha game just removed the gacha. What the hell? That doesn't make any sense. A lot of views. Lower average view duration. Pretty much the same total watch time. I mean, it's a long stream, so people are gonna dip out. And another example. No, that's strange formatting. First time ever Metal Gear. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, I do believe. 126 views, 287 total watch time hours. Peak 105, average 85. Then peak 55, average 44. Pretty much cut in half. again. Another example, very short stream length, so it doesn't seem to be related to time either. This is just an hour. Peak 107, average 87. Peak 51, average of 42. Pretty much cut in half, once again. School days, get good at money, economics slow. Yeah, I mean, lower total watch time because it's a shorter stream, but it makes sense. I tracked all my streams last week, and the same thing kept happening. Obviously I'm not botting. If it was, the numbers would be higher. No one would bot for this much, Lamau. Of course not. So it's not bad. Encouraging people to interact with the streams seems to change nothing. Because even if the streams are nerfed, it doesn't seem to be caused by raids. Because the graph shape stays the same once views are removed. But views also seem to suffer for some reason overall, and I still haven't figured out why. Does anyone know what the hell is being cut? Or what anyone can do about it? Because I sure don't. I take the number of YouTube creators feeling similarly down lately about their analytics, posting so that anyone else who's been struggling doesn't feel alone. It's happening to many of us. No idea what it is, but if your numbers have taken a hit, I highly encourage you to monitor. Maybe if we all do, someone can figure it out, or at least maybe YouTube will give answers. And we have here Evanito mentioning the hype feature, which doesn't make any sense. Why would it slashing have your CCV after the stream? It makes no sense. Encouraging people to interact with the stream seems to change nothing, because even if they do, the numbers are nerfed. I don't know what's going on YouTube, but I can tell you things that I've noticed personally. It's not only streams, it's also happening to videos. I've seen in real time the disappearance of views from videos, not just streams. I've seen in real time the disappearance of likes on videos, and literally in real time while I was streaming on the stream itself. So something really strange is going on, and I don't know what it is. But I wasn't crazy. This is literally happening. YouTube is screwing us all over the place. What's the fix for this? You cannot fix this. It's on YouTube side. The only thing I can recommend people to do is to diversify yourself. Start streaming elsewhere. Find your place at the same time. You're doing YouTube and Twitch? Cool. Add Kick. Cool. Add Twitter, I guess, if you're paying for Twitter Blue. At this point, I might be considering adding Rumble to the mix. Even though I don't think Rumble's a good fit for me, but I don't know. They were campaigning for Rumble Gaming a while back. Don't know what happened with that. And it's really interesting to me that all of this is happening at the same time. Both Twitch and YouTube. Selling, no, it's all about engagement. It's all about the engagement. I'm so engaged. What is engagement? What is engagement? If people chatting doesn't work, if people watching for long periods of time, sometimes the full stream doesn't count. If liking doesn't count, what are you supposed to do? As a viewer or as a content creator, what are you supposed to do? I don't think you can do anything. Because you keep taking the views out, you keep taking the CCV, and you keep taking even the likes. That's insane. That's insane to me. Is this just spaghetti coding at this point? I have no idea. I have no idea. But I do hope that thanks to this Twitter thread, we can get either more information or YouTube to say anything. Of course, the funniest thing of all here is that YouTube is giving bot responses to the thread, so I guess they don't care.